Hello, everyone. My name is Donna Brown. I'm an Access Consciousness Facilitator, Foundation Bars Facelift. And Felipa asked a very good question today, so I thought I'd do a really quick video before people showed up for my Access Foundation class. Her question was about the music and bars. So, bars create implants and explants. And if you are listening to the music as you're driving somewhere, or you're taking a ride on the subway or the train, a certain song will come on and you'll remember a time. Generally, you remember a happy time, but sometimes you can remember a sad time. What happens with music is they implant you. Okay, so think of a spouse or a boyfriend or a girlfriend, and there's generally some song that when you hear it, it reminds you of them. That's an implant. That's taking you back to some place in your past. And remember, as we're running the bars, we're releasing thoughts, feelings, and emotions so that you can get really clear. So if you have a song on, it's going to hold you, it's going to hold you at a frequency, and it's not going to allow you to actually create a change that you're looking for. She asked specifically about I call them the binaural beats. They go by Sofelo. There's a lot of different names for them. And these are tunes that hold you at a vibration. I use those for something totally different. So when I first moved to Dallas, I had an apartment because I wasn't, I was looking at, oh, am I going to stay? Am I going to find another place? What am I going to do? And I ended up staying here in Dallas and purchasing a house. But prior to that, I was in this apartment. And when I moved in, there was very interesting people that lived around me. I used the binaural beats. Every time I left the house, I kept them running. I ran them when I was there. It keeps you at a certain vibration. Again, when we are releasing thoughts, feelings, and emotions, and it is by your touch. That's why it's so important to do this in person. You hold the points, and as you're holding the points and you're allowing the other person to release those thoughts, feelings, and emotions, if something is at a certain frequency, it'll hold you at that frequency and you can't create the change. The change doesn't happen. So the session isn't as powerful with music, especially those kinds of the binaural beats. So I use the binaural beats, and I found a really, really good one that was a love binaural beat. I like the way it sounds. I'll put the link in below so that if you want to listen to it, you can. It's one of the ones that I use in my home, and as I'm using that, what happened in my apartment building was the person above me moved, the person next to me moved, and the person across from me moved. The person across from me couldn't get out of her lease. She was on a fixed income. She was also a hoarder because the fireman, when he came to inspect my apartment, told me how bad the apartment was. Like, he probably shouldn't have, but you'll recognize that as you as you create more in your life, you become the person that everybody tells their secrets to, or tells you things they wouldn't tell anybody else. And I could tell after he told me, he was like, looking at me, and I'm like, that's okay. I'm not going to judge her. It's not my business. Anyway, she moved all her stuff. She had hoarded, and she moved all her stuff to another apartment. So even she left. And that's what the binaural beats did. Now, if we'd run bars on her, which she had made a change, instead of just moving all the junk and going to another apartment and stacking more things to the ceiling because she got another room so she could stack more, the bars would have changed that. Would she have allowed me to run her bars? Absolutely not. People like what they do. They may say they don't like it, they may ask for help, and if they continue doing it, that's what they like to do. And that's one of the other things, is that we stop judging and we're like, okay, when you're ready, I'm ready. So that is now my phrase, especially in hypnosis. When you're ready, I'm ready. Because I am ready when you are willing to commit to the change. So we don't use the music. The other way I've seen the music, you're allowed to watch TV, and people say, well, why can't I watch TV? Because it has music in it and not listen to music. Most of American programs, British programs, those are the two I've watched. I haven't watched too many telenovelas. Um, the music that's playing is little snippets. And so there's no implants or explants. It's just a song that's in the background. Most of it is like they're running and you hear the of the feet. So you get the sounds. Like here, you may get the sounds. You may hear the birds that are outside in the front. You may not, but there's sounds. So if there's sound in the background, they try to make it natural sound, and they have a few parts with the music. What I've noticed, now I watch a lot of Korean Netflix. What I noticed with the Korean love stories is when the guy's being really, really bad, they have the music that goes along. So they build up to it. So the scene's going to be ugly. When they're having the love part of it, there's another song. Those, if you were running bars too, they do have implants and explants. Those songs will specifically tell you this is coming. And if they're telling you this is coming, they're preparing you to have the negative emotion or the positive emotion, however you want to say it. You're going to be happy about what's going on, or you're going to be like, oh, poor her, what's going on. And those are implants. So they implant you in those. So can you watch those kind of stories and run your bars? I'm going to say, when you're doing it for you and you recognize, because that's what happened, I recognized, oh wow, we're coming up to the part where we're supposed to be sad, and then I ran my implant band, because you know what? I'm just going to blow that out of the water. This isn't going to make me sad, this scene. It is what it is, and it's a brilliant, they write brilliant, brilliant plots. Brilliant. And that's one of the reasons I watch them. So for me personally, but if I was running someone else's bars and they didn't have that awareness, am I letting it go? No, we're keeping them at, so their sad emotions are there and they're going to be sad. They're not recognizing that the music is making them have that reaction. So I hope this explains why one of the few rules we have in Access is run the bars without the music. Now, if you're somewhere in the middle of something and someone asks you to run their bars and there's some music playing off in the distance, run them. Run them by all means. And when you're giving a class, absolutely no music. So if you have any questions, you can put it in the chat, or you can shoot me something. I will answer them, but I'm not a technophile, so I am not on the computer all the time. I rarely look at things. Sometimes I respond right away, and sometimes I don't. Again, my name is Donna Brown. I'm an Access Consciousness Facilitator. I hope this helps you with your bars business. Thank you, and please subscribe to my channel.